we get on here at 59, 69, whatever this is, go down to the number 8 beltway and swing over.
Well, hello there in YouTube land and welcome back to the channel. And today we are at Mancuso Power Sports Southwest, I think it's called. Well, it's a BMW dealer and we're going to test ride this beauty K1600 GT. Look at that. That's a big old bike. So before we continue with the test ride, let's check out some stats and some specs of this bike. So the engine, as you well know, is a 6-cylinder 1649cc that produces 160 horsepower and 132 pound-feet of torque. Now the maximum speed of the GT model is limited to 120 miles per hour. So it's a little bit better than on the Grand America. Now this does have a quick shifter and the final drive is a shaft, so is low on maintenance, which is a good thing for the BMW K1600 GT. Now this bike has different suspension settings. Both are BMW, both front and back, but it has 4.5 inches in the front and 5.3 in the rear. So it's a little bit taller than the Grand America. The wheels are 17 inches on both. It has on the front brakes 320 millimeter floating discs with 4 piston fixed calipers, and on the rear 320 but only 1 disc. Now it's a big bike with weighing at 716 pounds, so it's a little bit lighter because it doesn't have the trunk, and the fuel capacity is 7 gallons. Now the price of the K1600 GT is supposed to be $24,295, but it, as tested, was $28,295. Now back to the review. And well, let's see how this thing rides. Okay, so the first thing, you hop on it. It's a heavy bike, very heavy bike, and it's very tall, so that's a problem. And the seat is hot as hell because we're in Texas. So let's see how this thing turns on. Okay, so that was pretty smooth. I love this whole dash thing that is huge, and I'm pretty sure you can change it in different modes and stuff, but we're not going to bother with that today because we just want to see how this thing rides, and it's in dynamic mode. I hope that means it's a fast mode. So let's check out the friction zone on this bike. Feels pretty smooth, but as I said, this is a heavy bike, and it's very top heavy. It's one of the things you feel once you hop on it. It is very top heavy. Even though it has the engine down here, it's 6 cylinders of pure enjoyable magic. Not bad for a touring bike. It has a whole bunch of buttons that I don't know what they do. This one, I guess it's a hill assist. Here you have the modes. It has dynamic, rain, road. Dynamic, I guess, is the fastest one. I don't know what this thing locks, but it locks something. The shifter feels a little smooth. Let's see how it feels where you're actually moving. And I don't know, I like it so far, but the being top heavy is not one of those things that I like. And the idea that, I don't know if you can see that in my reflection, that I have to tippy-toe it. Maybe you'll need bigger boots, but I don't know if bigger boots will fit between the shifter peg and the regular peg, because that's one of the things that happened when I rode the R18. All right. Oh my God, is this thing smooth? This is the smoothest thing. It's like you're riding a magic carpet. All right, let's see how this thing actually feels when you're on the move. It still feels really heavy, And one of the things, I don't know why they're doing this or what's going on, but one of the things that I don't like so far is that the windscreen here is right on my field of vision. So let's see if once we get moving I can actually, but you know what, being a heavy bike, I can maneuver it no problem. It does feel like it's very well built, very well put together. So that means, oh man, and it drops on the dime. And that's one of the advantages of being top heavy. But I thought it was gonna be like really hard to keep it stable in slow maneuvers, but no, this bike is really, really smooth, and you don't feel like it's gonna tip over. Very good job, BMW. I mean, it even feels better than the Harley, because the Harley you do feel that it's gonna start falling once it's you get below like 10 miles per hour. I didn't have that problem with this one. All right, let's see if we can figure out where is the control for the windscreen, because having it right here in my line of vision is not a good thing. And I do hope that my camera angle is recording the bike and the other bikes, so we can actually see the all right, the road. Okay, so this feels plasticky, just like all the other BMWs I've ridden. Not very premium for a bike of this caliber, but you do feel a substantial bike underneath and in between your legs. Now this bike also has a stereo. It's obviously going to have all the bells and whistles of a touring bike. But it's funny because it's a touring bike, but it feels more like a big sport bike. Like you're riding a big sport touring, not a regular touring bike. So I guess that's the whole idea of this bike. So I'm not saying anything new. All right, so let's see. It does feel very smooth. Smoother than I was expecting, I guess. All right, so that was the from first to second, all right, so that's not bad. So let's see if okay, so the little buttons here are for people with longer fingers than mine. It's so smooth, and it has a very big seat, which is very comfortable. They're riding faster than I was expecting to be riding on a demo day, which is not bad, but I mean, for being my first time on this bike, these guys are scaring the hell out of me, because I don't think this huge enormous bike is gonna have, oh it does, it has the power to stop at a dime, no problem. Oh, check it, those brakes are great. So being a very heavy bike, I didn't want to be really close to the others, but I mean, wow. Okay, so yeah, I guess this bike, the only thing is it's not really fast, but it's one of those things that maybe Harleys just feel faster than they are, and these are a little faster than they feel. But still, I was expecting a little bit more pep out of this those 6 cylinders. Maybe it has a limiter because it's a demo bike, but I don't know. I just disappointed in the way it accelerates. I mean, I'm not giving the whole bean, so maybe the throttle is just longer and you need to actually engage it more. But that's something that, well, you have to get used to, but I hope it is, because, well, pretty disappointing. Right, because right now I'm at third and it's 4,000 RPM. So, and I guess it also has to do with the fact, yeah, maybe I have to put it in second. There it is. Yeah, since it's a 6-cylinder, more of a sport bike feel. Oh, somebody's calling. I hope it doesn't stop the recording. I think it is gonna stop the recording. That's gonna fucking suck. yeah, so the quick shifter is pretty smooth. From first to second, it was not good. I wasn't. Oh man, the way this bike handles, the twist is gonna be awesome in the twisties. I love it. The way it feels, the way it handles. Oh my god. Yeah, no wonder this bike costs as much as it does, because this one is like a 24 to 28, I think. And yeah, quick shifter up and down is smooth as butter. I don't know if it's better than my Suzuki's, but it's just as good. And it does feel a little bit lighter though. And for a big touring bike like this, I think everything, if everything is smooth, that's the thing, that's what you want. You want everything smooth as butter, and you want to be, oh man, if I could drop this bike, this is awesome. I love it to death. The only thing will be this windscreen. If when you move it up and down, if it gets out of my line of vision, or maybe a different windscreen, but that's going to be too much because it's electronic. I don't think it's going to be a cheap one to replace. Okay, so now we've got a car in front of us, which sometimes you think it's a bad thing, but on a demo day, it gives you the excuse to catch up with the group and test the bike a little bit more. But I don't think this guy in front of us, nah, he's not going to do anything. We're just going to have to keep it steady here and just continue. Alright, so suspension wise, this bike is very smooth. I mean, coming down from the from Suzuki, it does feel a lot more plush, a lot smoother. Not a lot smoother because Suzuki is pretty smooth, but yeah, the suspension is great. The brakes, I think, are the things that are most impressive about this bike. And the tires, they also feel like they belong in this bike. And even though it is a top heavy bike, once you get it moving, I mean, you do feel the weight. Don't. I'm not gonna lie to you and say, oh, once you move it, you don't feel the weight. You feel the weight. But it's so smooth that you can handle it, no problem. And the way that this bike stops, and you don't feel like it's gonna drop one side or the other. Look at this. I'm doing this with one hand, and I'm not really worried that it's gonna drop. And that's when you drop the bikes, right, JP? Like you did on that Triumph. But I don't know. It just fills you with confidence. So that's a very good thing about this bike. Very good job, BMW. So what else? The brakes, the suspension, the tires, and the only thing that it's, I don't know, a little bit disappointing is that big 6-cylinder engine. And I'm guessing the Goldwing is going to be a lot more disappointing because this bike is a lot faster than the Goldwing. But the way this bike handles, I don't know, man. If it were a little bit faster, this would be the bike to buy, and you don't need any other bike, just this one. But the problem is, you need something faster than this. Yep. Yeah, I mean, it's just not fast. It's just not fast enough. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a lot faster than my Harley, but the Harley feels a lot more, right? It just grunts and oh, you feel like a man. And don't get me wrong, I mean, this is a manly bike. Big bike, very fast, very sporty big bike. But the way it handles, the way it brakes, you do need something faster. I mean, it can handle a lot more. But I guess this is the way BMW keeps the bike safe. But I mean, I would love to take this bike into twisties and see what it can do because, oh man, I'm pretty sure
if it would go into the King of the Baggers competition, it will kill the Indians and the Harleys. This chassis is just a lot more sportier, or a lot sportier. You don't say more sportier, English teacher. And but yeah, let's see if we can get some separation in the corner here. No, it's not going to happen because they're going really slow. If I could just get a little bit of oh yeah, this bike is, I love this bike. Oh man, even though it's not the fastest, I mean, for going on the twisted you don't need faster than that. I think this bike is an option. I never thought about it because it's too expensive, and I never thought I'd be able to actually have a test ride on it. But I mean, I love it to death. There's nothing really, I mean, maybe that it's not as fast as maybe this wins, but it's not keeping you from saying, hey, if I had the money, I would buy this bike. I would definitely buy this bike, and I would definitely take care of it for years because it is an awesome machine, and it does feel very premium in the suspension, right, in the brakes, and the way it handles, as opposed to well, the smaller bikes from BMW. You know that these bikes are made in Germany and they're built with quality in mind. I mean, check out this dash. I mean, that's premium brand. I'm pretty sure the stereo is going to sound awesome as well. Unfortunately, we cannot test it today because we'll get hit with copyright infringement. But oh man, and I do hope this thing is recording, because after I received that phone call, I think that the recording stops. So hopefully, and I can remember, if not, to do a voiceover, and I remember how this bike feels. Because, well, I am really enjoying myself on this bike, and even though it's really hot, all this big windscreen, I mean this big fairing, the windscreen, it's protecting me from the elements. I don't feel the hot wind coming. It does have plenty of wind here in my chest, so I don't feel like I'm burning up. I don't know if this thing has self-canceling indicators, which they should. We'll try it now, and I'm not gonna let this guy go in between us because that's the way I ride my bikes. You'll wait for me, because I'm a man. It's so comfortable too, man. I mean, the riding position is so natural. I do feel like a cop, but I don't know. I think you can ride this bike forever. I think it's a much better riding position than the Harleys, because this is a more natural position when you're riding a bike and you want to control it than having your feet here, which in this one you can't because of that big 6 engine is coming out here. But I mean, you don't need floorboards because it gives you a lot more control. I love it. I love this bike. I mean, if this is the way this thing handles, I can't believe. I can't wait to test the S1000RR or the M1000R, which they have on this demo day. Usually when you go to a demo day, they're not going to let you ride the big bikes like this one or the sport bikes, especially the super bikes. Well, they have it today, and I think I want to thank BMW for that. That's one of the things they should be doing, because, well, they're making me into a believer now. Yeah, maybe the BMW is not as reliable, and it's going to be a little bit more expensive than the Japanese bikes, but still, I mean, it's worth it. It's definitely worth it. And be part of the BMW family. So let's see how expensive this bike is, because I think I would have to trade all 3 of my bikes in to just have one of these. And I don't think I'm ready to give up Suki, because I do want a faster bike than this. But I mean, as an option for when you go older and grow older and all you want is one bike, this is the way to go. This is the way to live. And I don't know if it has reverse or not. it does have the hill assist, but if it does have reverse, that would be something that I would consider, because it is a very big, heavy bike, and it's very tall. So if you don't have any grip, you get caught in the gravel or something, you're not going to be able to move this bike. Well, that's it for today's video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Really, remember, if you liked the video, to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell button, and share it with all your friends. If you don't like the video, well, share it with all your enemies. And I'll see you guys on the next one.